chasing status on BFBS Catterick, that is disgruntled. Now, a team of former soldiers from Yorkshire have taken first place at the inaugural Veteran Games UK. The group, who all served with the Duke of Wellington's regiment, took on a series of military-themed physical challenges at the event, which included a vehicle push and an obstacle race. This is the team captain, 𝐃𝐮𝐤𝐞𝐬.
There was 4 veteran teams, all competed against one another in a multitude of various different military-type fitness tasks. So first task really was pushing a Humvee, an armoured Humvee, up a steadily increasing incline, and obviously the team that got it furthest up the hill was obviously the winner of that particular task. The second task was quite a daunting assault course. Bearing in mind, none of us have chucked ourselves over an assault course for 20 years, if not more.
Well, this is what I was going to come on to.
Yeah. Well, all of our team have all been out of service for quite some time. I left the services on the 2nd of January 2007, so I'm coming up for 19 years. Some of my colleagues left even longer ago than that. So, so we've been out of uniform for a long, long time. And so going back into doing these type of activities is quite daunting, to be fair. However, the reason that we decided to do this as a team was to open those lines of communication again, to give each other a means by which to motivate one another and start doing a bit of fitness. Obviously, we all know that as a fit body means a better and a more fit mind, and those lines of communication really helped us re-engage a lot more frequently than we had done, as in recent years. And so that was the actual driving force for us getting together as a team and actually going ahead and joining the games anyway.
So you mentioned a couple of the events there. Mm-hmm. You did the assault course. Mm-hmm. What were the other tasks you were given?
So the assault course itself culminated in what most people had the biggest anxiety about, was a 12-foot vertical wall, getting a full team over that wall. And then we moved on to the third task, which was a stores carry, which incorporated a heavy goods vehicle tyre as well, so like a loading shovel tyre, something big enough. And the idea of the stores carry, you've got multitude of ammo tins, various sizes, you've got sandbags, and other little bits of kit there that you had to move through 4 different legs with the stores carry, getting all the items across each of the 4 legs in a set format. The final format was one that you really had to think about, i.e. separating the stores with an equidistant number across in front and behind the tyre, and the tyre being flipped and having to rotate. And the idea being is, by the time you're completely bagged, you really had to engage your brain and still think about what you're doing, even though you were physically drained. From there, we moved on to the 4th task, which was a stretcher race, culminating also a live firing range. And when I say live firing range, I'm not talking about live rounds, I'm talking about Mark IV rifles. So there were a number of rifles. So you carry the stretcher up to the ranges, conduct the shooting activity, take the stretcher back to starting point, and that was done with 2 fire teams, an 8-man team in total, split to 2 fire teams, all timed. And then the final task was all of the teams together competing in a round robin at tug of war. And obviously, because we've got rather a large sort of team, shall we say, we pretty much smashed that one and we won every bout on that. So, but it was a really good interactive day. A lot of new friendships were made across all the team members and obviously the supporting team or the supporters that were there for the day. And the festival itself, because it was part of a festival, brought along a massive amount of veteran-owned businesses into what they call the veteran-owned village. And all these veteran-owned businesses, all these initiatives that have been set up by former serving soldiers, were all there showing their wares and selling their wares and trying to raise awareness for their brands as well. Overall, a fantastic day.
Well done to 𝐃𝐮 and the rest of the team with that first place finish. Great news. It's BFBS Catterick. Now, a team of former soldiers from Yorkshire have taken first place at the inaugural Veteran Games UK. The group, who all served with the Duke of Wellington's regiment, took on a series of military-themed physical challenges at the event, which included a vehicle push and an obstacle race. It's been a while since Anthony Thorpe and Mark Hill have done any activities like this.
It was quite daunting, really. I'd done no fizz up until pretty much the day. So coming together and the first thing we're doing is pushing a Humvee up a hill. Yeah, that was something else with that. And then again, the 12-foot wall at the assault course. It's a long 30 years since I last seen a wall that high. So that was very daunting. But again, with the lads coming together as a team, it's 20 odd years since we've seen each other, some of us, and it seemed to just gel, really.
What was it like, having that reunion and, taking part in an event like this?
I suppose it's like you've never left, because there's conversations that you had 20 years ago and you're picking up on them sort of things. You sat down reminiscing about tours that you've been on. ex-platoon sergeants. It then goes out further than that, knowing what it's for, the veterans charity, mental health and things. That then opens conversations between, your teammates and everything else.
So I'm right in saying, so you've done a presentation to, one of the local causes around here.
So as part of the winning, we won $5,000 Australian dollars from Valhalla Tactical Clothing, and we decided that as a group of individuals, we didn't need that. We would be better equipped to give that money to charity. And so one of the charities that we've come together to give money to is the Beacon down here in Catterick. So
there's a potential that the team might be going to Australia. Are you going to be part of that?
I am going to be part of it if my wife lets me. No, we're still in negotiations. Obviously, we are raising money to help fund this once-in-a-lifetime trip. I'm sure that my wife, with a bunch of roses, will say, yes, you're able to go.
Yeah. What do you make of the Veteran Games event overall?
It was definitely well put together. And again, with it being the inaugural, it's only going to get bigger. That word of mouth throughout the veteran community, or even the serving members, will push it out more. So although there was only a handful of teams this year, next year you would expect that to be double, and then keep on growing year on year.
Mark, how does it feel to come away with the top prize at this event?
It was fantastic, Chris, and it's an amazing thing to be part of. So Kieran, our team captain, through Veterans Can, Gareth and James had brought it to the UK, and Kieran wanted to put a Duke's team because we all served in the 1st Battalion, the Duke of Wellington Regiment, and a good number of us also part of the Royal Yorkshire Regiment. So to come together and to be called the Duke's Warriors, to go down there, a bit of a laugh, we enjoyed ourselves, but we won, we came away. But one of the things that it's done for me, it's kind of enlightened my training and fitness. So we're all part of a WhatsApp group, and we're all up every day training twice, sometimes 3 times a day. So it's kind of inspired me to get out and run around Catterick Garrison further and longer. So to win it was fantastic. And Eston Russell, Special Forces Major from Australia, is now in the 4th year over in Australia. And as we said earlier, we've been invited to the finals in Australia. And can you imagine if we won?
That would be an upset, wouldn't it? All the very best to the team as they travel to Australia in October to take part in the original event there. Hope it all goes well.